Queens building owner is facing big fines for illegally housing dozens of migrants in the basement of a furniture store. But could this situation be just one of
Oh, okay. Everyone in the chat was telling me I was muted. Holy shit. Well, welcome to Mild's Culture Plate. I am not going to go back over those two news stories. Cheers to Shut Up I Can Cook if you're still there. It doesn't look like you are. And cheers to Great Liquor. Cheers. And cheers. Gotta love. Not realizing that my input settings were all wrong. My input settings were all wrong in this Rumble studio. Oh, cheers, Lord. See, it was working fine. That exact same setting was working fine Saturday. But it wasn't a direct microphone input. Anyway. Just to recap, we had a $1 billion donation to a medical school in New York. And I just basically said, it'd be nice if all billionaires would do that. And then I was talking about Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend. Basically having her. Good evening, Great Liquor. Good seeing you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, dear Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me bring this back up. Okay, so I was talking about Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend having her Sex in the City moment and how being single is so exciting. Oh, Shut Up I Can Cook says she's drinking sake. Good, tasty stuff. Let's see, where's my live chat? Here it is. Okay, Cookie says she can hear me loud and clear. And of course, my pin's not working. Why is my pin not working? Okay, I can't pin the chats, but thankfully you folks can see them on the screen. Sorry, folks. Anyway, so yeah, let's get back into this. The title story from the title of the video here.
Queens building owner is facing big fines for illegally housing dozens of migrants in the basement of a furniture store. But could this situation be just one of many? CBS 2's Ali Bauman covers housing and pressed the city about this issue tonight.
Police stand guard Tuesday outside a Queens furniture store, where a day earlier, city inspectors discovered over 70 migrants had been living in illegally converted sleeping quarters. Cell phone video shows migrants eating in the back room, surrounded by rows of mattresses. The store's owner said some migrants paid him $300 a month to sleep there after getting evicted from the shelter.
Okay, $300 a month for a mattress in a furniture store basement, where you're 300 a month. Well, you got to chill with 69 other people. Folks, I don't care how cheap a $300 a month rent is in New York. Dude, I'm not sharing a space with 69 other people.
System per the city's 30-day rule for migrants.
I've talked to landlords, people who are saying that these buildings is for the city. And the city is saying that they don't have no place for these people.
After the sweep, some migrants went back to wait for placement in a shelter, and others went their own way.
Last night, I slept in the subway.
Inspectors initially came here after neighbors complained that dozens of e-bikes were being dangerously and improperly stored.
Oh my!
This was one instance of this. How many do you think
Where are they charging them?
Oh, there are hundreds.
Power Malou is a volunteer who helps migrants in the city.
Those were electric bikes. Where the fuck are they charging them?
have no choice but to try to find an option. And right now, the option is to try to find a place where they can actually lay their head and feel safe.
After migrants are evicted from shelters, it takes the city about a week to place them somewhere new. In that time, they can sleep at city-run holding centers, some of which...
Okay, I want to know, why were they evicted from the shelters in the first place? Like, is it an overcrowding situation? Did they not follow up on something? Why are they being evicted from the shelters? I mean, we've seen story after story. And cheers to Sanglant86 in the chat. Welcome over on Rumble. Says Elios. Sorry, I can't pin your chat. Pin's not working on Rumble Studio for some reason today, but you can see it on the screen.
Don't even have mattresses.
And if people are going there
Some of them don't even have the mattress.
Getting kicked out for 30 days,
Yeah.
does that mean that 30-day rule isn't working for the
Well, look,
city?
we've had to make, first off, the 30-day rule is working, and we've seen that it works.
City Hall says of all the adult migrants forced to leave shelters after 30 days, 25% have returned to the shelter system.
So they got to leave
Many of
after
them have
30
left the
days.
city. Some are staying in the city. Some have found places to live. We are also in a housing crisis, which makes this work. But again, the city can't house people indefinitely.
Well, guess what? The ones that you're seeing that are moved out are now living in dangerous conditions, unfortunately.
The Queens building owner was given 2 violations, which could cost them up to $50,000.
So this is New York. New York has this 30-day thing, but I would imagine there are a lot of other cities whose ability to house migrants and homeless are being stressed by the current immigration crisis. And I wonder how many of those cities have shelters that have had to turn people away. And you kind of wonder how many of these little basement pop-up shelter, for pay kind of places have popped up nationwide.
Ali Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Okay, so that's that.
Executive action and
Oh, stop sharing that. Shut up. Okay. A couple of things. There was a couple news stories we're really not going to get into today that were kind of on my radar for the week. I've been following a bunch of trials. So there's this hearing for Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade on the Donald Trump case in let's see, Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. And sorry, it's been an interesting trial. It's a little too he said she said kind of shit for me to actually cover on this show. But it's been quite gripping. I would advise people to take a peek into it. I know there have been lots of people on Rumble covering it. I think some of the most in-depth coverage of everything Trump related has been Robert Govea. So yeah, check out the Govea channel if you want to know more about all the stuff going on with Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade's old business partner being wrapped up in his divorce and trying to claim attorney-client privilege and not testify to things that he knew about the two of them exchanging money while having sex and all of this, and it's all being wrapped up into this Donald Trump trial in Georgia. It's been pretty exciting stuff. I've also been following the Rust Armorer trial. She's on trial for manslaughter. Even though it was Alec Baldwin that fired the weapon, and we've covered that on this show several times. I've been following that pretty closely, and Law of Self Defense here on Rumble has been really covering that trial pretty hardcore. So shout out to those two Rumblers. I know there was a motion hearing today in the appeal in the Quest versus Nick Rekieta trial. I know they had an appeal today, and I listened to a few of the oral arguments in that. It's quite interesting. So yeah, those are just some things that have been on my radar. But yeah, so let's talk about old people. Let's talk about old people. Yeah, Senglin asks, are the conditions worse than their home countries? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. And I've heard some speculation that a lot of these migrants have come from either China or Venezuela, and that this is a way that some of these third world countries are relieving stress on their prison population. And so, yeah, I mean, I think if it was a Venezuelan prison or a basement in Queens, I think I'd take the basement in Queens. All right, so let's talk about old people, folks. We have a bunch of news stories regarding old people and celebrities and this and that. So let's start with Mitch McConnell. This is on the New York Post. Mitch McConnell succession race begins after Senate GOP leader says he'll step down. This is by a few different of their journalists over there at the Post. Mitch McConnell's shocking announcement Wednesday afternoon that he will step aside as Republican leader after the November elections has sparked a mad dash among a divided GOP conference to replace him. With no successor clearly apparent, McConnell announced in a floor speech he would step back and allow the next generation of leadership to make its mark in the upper chamber, and several had no qualms about making their ambition known soon after. I turned 82 last week, and at the end of my contributions are closer than I prefer. McConnell said, his voice breaking at times. Yeah, probably because he was freezing. He's Mr. Freeze. I'm filled with heartfelt gratitude and humility for the opportunity. If you would have told me that I would stand before you as the longest serving Senate leader in U.S. history, frankly, I would have thought you lost your mind. No, that's just the times now, right? Because you had Nancy Pelosi also having to step down at 82. You have, you know, Donald Trump pushing 80. You have Joe Biden at 82. We're just ruled by our elders here. And no matter how old we get, the rulers get older. So he adds to serve Kentucky in the Senate has been the honor of my life. To lead my Republican colleagues have been the highest privilege. Speculation quickly turned to John Thune, John Cornyn, and John Barrasso of Wyoming. Uh, John, when Senator Vance joked to reporters when asked whom he would back without specifying which one, said John. All three Johns either currently serve or have served in key leadership roles within the Senate GOP. Thune, the minority whip, is McConnell's current second in command, while Barrasso serves as chair of the Republican conference, and Cornyn spent 4 years as majority whip after the party retook the chamber in 2014. Shut up, I can cook. In the chat says, tell Sanglant to hush. And then Sanglant says, turtle, turtle, turtle. I'm assuming talking about Mitch McConnell being resembling a turtle. There was an interesting article over on the Babylon Bee, the parody news site Babylon Bee, that said, Mitch McConnell to return to the ocean, and had a picture of a turtle. It was great. So yeah, I'm not going to dig too much more into this, but yeah, the GOP's already, politicians are already ready to pick the corpse of the office left by Mitch McConnell. So okay, let me do this. Okay, why can't I exit presentation mode? I'll just stop screen share altogether. Okay. So let's do this. We have President Joe Biden. TMF Squid in the chat. Welcome, TMF Squid. Good to see you. Cheers. Said, all right, can all the old fucks that like screwing us over leave now? Yeah, that'd be nice. But unfortunately, we have people like Joe Biden, who apparently just went through a medical physical and was not given a cognitive test. And so let's see this video here of Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre from ABC News here.
Didn't take a mental fitness or cognitive test during his physical this morning.
So let me just say, I did see Dr. O'Connor, and he stopped by my office earlier today after the president completed his physical this morning, as you all know. He was happy with how everything went. And as soon as he finishes completing the memo, it will be a robust, comprehensive memo. We will certainly share that with all of you, as we have done in the last 2 years. And look,
Oh, we get a
so
memo.
the president returned to work. He took some of your questions
We don't
not
get
too long
reassurances,
ago,
we
and
get a memo.
saw he's going to continue to fight for the American people. In this particular instance, he was talking about fighting crime. So the president's going to continue that process. As it relates to, you were asking me about a cognitive test. As it relates to that, look, the president doesn't need a cognitive test. That is not my assessment. That is not.
Wait a minute. The president does not need a cognitive test, she says. Okay, let's continue to listen.
My assessment. That is the assessment of the president's doctor. That is also the assessment of the neurologist.
Two doctors in Washington, D.C. need to see a doctor. 2 doctors in Washington, D.C. need to see a doctor and need to take cognitive tests on their own merit and possibly have their licenses checked, at least be up for a review of their licenses, their medical licenses.
Who has also made that assessment as well. And, and you've heard us say this, and I'll reiterate this, the president's doctor has said, if you look at what the president, who is also the commander-in-chief, he passes a cognitive test every day.
Oh,
every
really?
day. As
every
he moves
day.
From one topic to another topic, understanding the granular level of these topics. You saw him.
Okay, hang on.
Talk about fighting crime today. Tomorrow, he's going to go to the border. Next week.
Yes, we see him. We see him have gaffe after gaffe, fall down stairs, fall off of bikes. We see him mix up entire countries. You see him. You see him pass a cognitive test every day. You see him pass a cognitive test every day. And 2 doctors have said he passes cognitive tests every day and therefore does not need a cognitive test. The emperor has no clothes, people.
He's going to give a State of the Union address. And so we have to keep that in mind. This is a very rigorous job. And the president has been able to do this job every day for the past 3 years. And let's not forget, he is also leading a historic presidency, which is also important to note in everything that we've been able to do. He's been able to get done over the past 3 years.
But given that there's been so much scrutiny and you say there's no problem, he'd pass the test every day, why not just have his doctor administer the test and then case closed?
Because the doctor doesn't believe that he needs one, because including the neurologist doesn't believe he needs one.
Including the neurologist.
I think folks need to.
Okay, so folks, have you ever seen a specialist? If you ever went to a doctor and said, "Look, I'm going to refer you to a specialist," like, why the neurologist then? Right? The point of a neurologist, the point of any specialist, is you get referred to the specialist, then the specialist does tests like a cognitive test to determine whether you need other things. To say a neurologist saw me and didn't do the test because they said I don't need the test, when the test is the diagnosis that you might need a test. Like, it's literally step number 1. And that's what this Selena Wang, ABC News White House correspondent, is trying to get at. And Karine Jean-Pierre, like she does with every topic, just dodge. Just dodge and put something dumb. Yeah, TMF Squid says, hey, yep, well, they think we're all stupid. We definitely can't see him lose focus and concentration mid-speech or randomly walk off during a speech. Yeah. And Sanglin says, yeah, he passes the filling his pants test every day. Yeah. This is what we're supposed to believe about our older folk.
Understand that the president passes, again, a cognitive test every day. If you look at what a clinical cognitive test is actually, what it actually does, it is a 15-minute appointment that is administered by someone that most of the time people don't actually know. And
we can't be bothered to give the president a 15-minute appointment. Can't be bothered to do it because, the doctors just, Screw that. Like 80% of the country thinks he has cognitive problems. Yeah, just screw the American people. Just 15 minutes is too much of a bother for Joseph Robinette Biden.
And the president has a team of doctors that is with him 24/7, and he is able to do the work every day that is rigorous, that is more rigorous than it would be for any 15-minute clinical
More
appointment.
rigorous.
And you think about the job growth, you think about the record small business action, you think about the bloom in that particular space of 16 million more small businesses have been created. You think about delivering historic investment that has been done by a president
The
who
PR
has to
person
deal with
can't
these
help
issues
but
every
turn this
day,
into
again,
a
on a
PR.
granular level. And so his doctor, including the neurologist, do not believe that he needs one. That is their assessment. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So that. Nope. Sorry. Stop sharing the Tesla ad. Yeah. Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it. He doesn't need it. So also from ABC News, this is why it's important for us to understand these next few stories. It's important to understand why aging could be a problem for politicians and rulers and the people we rely on every day to transmit what we think is important and turn it into law, turn it into policy for our country. These next few stories are really going to hit home here. First off, we have Pope Francis visiting. And this is also from ABC News. Pope Francis visits Rome hospital for tests, returns to Vatican. Pope Francis on Wednesday visited Rome's Gemelli Hospital following his general audience at the Vatican. After the Pope Francis went to the Gemelli Isola Tabernia Hospital for some diagnostic tests. Afterwards, he returned to the Vatican. During his weekly appearance, Francis said he still had a bit of a cold and he asked one of his bishops to do a reading. Francis said he was admitted to the hospital several times last year. He had bronchitis in March, and intestinal surgery in early June. Francis is scheduled on Saturday to meet with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, followed on Sunday by an appearance at a noontime prayer, according to the Vatican. The Pope's official X account posted a message on Wednesday after his visit to the hospital. In this time of Lent, let us strive not to put ourselves at the center. Rather, let us try to step aside to make room for others, to promote them, and to rejoice in their qualities and successes, the account said. And again, if you believe the Pope is operating his own Twitter account from a hospital, then you probably also believe that Joseph Robinette Biden passes a cognitive test every day. And again, my apologies for all the ads on the screen. But let's go into celebrity deaths. First off, we have British banker Jacob Rothschild a couple days ago. This is from February 26th. British financier Jacob Rothschild, a senior member of one of Europe's best-known banking dynasties, has died at the age of 87, his family announced Monday. The family, in a statement to UK's Press Association news agency, called Rothschild a towering presence in many people's lives. No fucking thank you. He was a superbly accomplished financier, a champion of the arts and culture, a devoted public servant, a passionate support of charitable causes in Israel and Jewish culture. A keen environmentalist and much loved friend, father, and grandfather, the family said. Yeah. No, thank you. Rothschild, born in England, blah, blah, blah. He was involved in many business endeavors. Also known for being a patron of the arts. Yeah. Waddesdon Manor, an English country estate managed by the Rothschild Foundation, said on social media that it and the foundation were deeply saddened by the death, calling Rothschild a businessman, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and cultural leader. The Rothschild banking family traces its roots back to 18th century Frankfurt, where different family members moved to cities across Europe to build out banking businesses. So that was from Reuters. And I'm not one. I try my best not to grave dance, but God damn it, when banking elites, when New World Order globalist people who try to control global society are released from their ability to do so, I can't help but cheer a little bit on the inside. And we've had a couple celebrity deaths today. First off, we have comedian Richard Lewis. This is NPR. Starred Curb Your Enthusiasm, dies at 76. He revealed he was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2023 and died at his home in LA on Tuesday after suffering a heart attack, according to his publicist. Not really going to get too deeply into that, but there's Richard Lewis, and then we have WWE legend Virgil, whose real name was Michael Jones, also known as Soul Train Jones and Vincent. Died at 61, announced by the WWE. His cause of death was not immediately revealed. This is him right here. You may remember him. Most people remember him as Virgil. He was often presented as an ally and manager of Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Here's him and DiBiase at a auto show at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Yeah. So rest in peace to Richard Lewis and Virgil. All right, let's get into this. And I've got 2 articles to read about this next. And I'm not gonna again. I'm gonna skim these articles for important points because this is more celebrity news bullshit. But again, we've had this rash, and we've covered a lot of these on this show. We've had a rash of these sexual harassment cases out of New York that all kind of stem from the E. Jean Carroll Donald Trump case, where the New York government kind of reopened the window for the statute of limitations on sexual harassment and sexual assault cases. And so we've had a bunch of these pop up recently, and of course, over the last couple days, we've had a Sean Diddy Combs. This is from NBC News, accused of sexual harassment and assault by a producer on his latest album. Rodney Lil Rod Jones says his life has been detrimentally impacted since he worked with Combs. Now, look. First off, I'm going to say that for a male superstar in the African American community, a rapper and producer and entrepreneur such as P. Diddy, John Diddy Combs, to be labeled with these allegations that are essentially homosexual, the being gay and being an African American superstar is not always compatible, and so that's something to remember as we skim this article here. Sean Diddy Combs was sued Monday in a federal court. There's a federal court, not a New York court, by a producer on his most recent album who accuses the music mogul of harassing, drugging, and threatening him over a year. The producer, Little Rod Jones, says in the lawsuit that he lived and traveled with Combs from September 2022 to November 2023, which he recorded hours of video and audio of Combs and his staff and others engaging in serious illegal activity. Wow. Among the allegations is that Combs forced Jones to procure sex workers and pressured him to engage in unwelcome sex acts with them and others, and that Combs gave laced alcoholic beverages to people who attended parties at his homes. The lawsuit includes what it says are screenshots from gatherings hosted at Combs' homes that included underage girls and sex workers, some of whom he said were provided drinks that had been laced with drugs at Combs' direction. The suit filed in U.S. District Court also names his adult son, Diddy's adult son, Justin, his chief of staff, Christina Coram, and then a bunch of music moguls here, Universal Music Group CEO, former Motown Records CEO, um, Motown Records, Love Records, Universal Music Group, and says they worked with Combs in a RICO enterprise that, quote, failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Diddy and his son and his chief of staff. So this is a RICO lawsuit. Jones is seeking $30 million. Representatives for Justin Combs said that he categorically denies these absurd allegations. These are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday, the statement said. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. This suit is the latest in the series of damning allegations against Combs. Jones alleges that he lived with the harassment and assault occurred at homes in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht. When he raised concerns about the behavior to Coram, the chief of staff of the lawsuit says she dismissed them as friendly horseplay, stating those acts were McComb's way of showing that he likes you. The lawsuit accuses Coram of aiding and abetting Combs' sexual assault of Jones and working with Combs to, quote, groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship. He alleges he was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sexual acts with Combs, sex acts with them to please Combs. Combs provided him with a bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment as a signal to sex workers that he approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them. On one occasion, Jones alleges Combs forced him to watch as he displayed guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. In a separate incident, Jones alleges Combs shared he was responsible for a shooting in a nightclub in NYC in 1999 with rapper Shine-born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of gun possession and bribery charges in connection with that incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. This goes on and on and on, but we got to the meat of the lawsuit. Let's see. Combs had been sued by 4 women who accused him of sexual assault. Cassie's, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, said Combs abused her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes while he masturbated and recorded the encounters. The lawsuit was settled the day after. The settlement was in no way an admission of wrongdoing, Combs' lawyer has said. For following that lawsuit, 2 other women have alleged lawsuits. Those 3 cases against Combs are still pending. All right. So let's get into the second story about this. And again, I'm not trying to belabor the point, and I'm sorry that this story seems to be going a little longer than the others, but it's got a little more detail. So let's share this. This is from The Complex. Diddy's latest lawsuit. Why are people speculating about Meek Mill and Usher? Discussion about the lawsuit allegations against Diddy continues. 2 names have been brought up on social media in connection with the 73-page complaint: Meek Mill and Usher. Be absolutely clear, neither artist is accused of an outright crime in the suit brought by Little Rod Jones. Furthermore, neither artist's name is visible in the documents made available to the public. On Diddy's end, a lawyer quickly responded to the latest accusations against their client, calling Jones a liar who's shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. In the lawsuit, an unnamed rapper, it says male rapper, unnamed male rapper is mentioned as having been on Diddy's yacht where they were allegedly seen consorting with underage girls, sex workers, as seen below. Further down in the complaint, the person, okay, so it says rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls and sex workers. Further down in the complaint, the person whose name was redacted is described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Meek Mill is from Philadelphia and did, in fact, date Nicki Minaj from 2014 to 2016. However, the same Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj description is used again in connection with Jones' allegations centered around producer Stevie J. As previously reported, Jones claims that Diddy's connection to Stevie was used as part of an alleged promise regarding the Grammys. Jones alleged that Diddy used his admiration of the Bad Boy Records Grammy winner to groom him for sex. Oh, okay. Including in the suit are screenshots purporting to show Stevie J having sex with a white man. Those screenshots have been called into question. The adult film star came forward saying that the images in question actually show him, not Stevie J. The producer also spoke out about the accusations, stating in a statement to TMZ that the false allegations are being handled by a lawyer. Let's see. Again, Usher obviously recently played the Super Bowl, had a residency in Vegas, which is why people think the lawsuit is referring to him, which is R&B singer Redacted. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones he had engaged in sexual intercourse with the rapper Redacted, R&B singer Redacted, and Stevie J. So this is why people think it's Meek Mill and Usher. And then neither Meek nor Usher have directly publicly addressed any of the ensuing speculation. But Meek Mill did get into a social media spat with DJ Academics after the latter read off the allegations in a lawsuit. And yeah, there's this video circulating on Twitter that's essentially DJ Academics reading the part where it says unnamed male rapper, and that the unnamed male rapper had dated Nicki Minaj and was from Philadelphia. So there's that. So yeah, what do you folks think? You think Diddy's got some male love action going on? So folks, what do you think about fast food? Now lately I've been on a diet. You know, I've changed my eating habits. Let's put it that way. I was on a diet. I'm not necessarily dieting anymore, but I've changed my eating habits, and I don't eat a lot of fast food. I did hear Jeremy from the Quartering, Jeremy Hambley, did a news story on his show earlier today about Wendy's. Wendy's trying to basically institute dynamic pricing. Hold on, folks. I think my fire alarm, my smoke detector is going off. One moment. Let me go ahead and play this video while I do it. So this is McDonald's trying to appeal to weebs. And let me talk about this when I get back.
新しいマクドナルドソースを今すぐ試そう今すぐマクドナルドへのレース開催今だ私が勝ついらっしゃいませ二人とも勝ったな Let's try new savory chili McDonald's sauce only at McDonald's Ba-da-ba-ba-ba Go!
Try new McDonald's sauce now. Now?
Huh?
The race to McDonald's is on!
So we now have McDonald's. We have McDonald's here doing anime. McDonald's doing anime. No cookie. I'm not going to pee. I like I said, I thought I heard my smoke detector going off, and the lovely lady I live with here, and am in a relationship with, is currently cooking chicken, and I thought I heard my smoke detector going off, so I went to check on that. Sanglet says, "LOL, that's a gag vid." No, apparently McDonald's is actually trying to appeal to weebs. They are actually doing so. You may remember over the past couple years, they did some K-pop stuff. They did some tie-ins with R&B artists, and this is really what I wanted to preface this video with, but I wanted to give you guys something to watch while I was away. So they've been doing these tie-ins with various cultural phenomenons, and they are actually doing a McDonald's tie-in. That's all anime related. It's not just a gag video. This is from. Let's see. Can I do this without doxing anything here? This is actually from McDonald's YouTube account. From McDonald's YouTube account. They are actually doing this. This is going to be their tie-in. They're actually, so later in the video, and I don't know why it played again. This McDonald's sauce is going to be a real thing. This is going to be a spicy chili sauce. And you can see at the bottom of the screen, maybe I got to get my mouse off of it. At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Try new McDonald's sauce now.
Yeah, this McDonald's sauce is going to be a real thing. So they literally are using anime and manga to try to promote McDonald's. Pop culture, folks. Pop culture. Okay, so let me bring up my OBS because there's something I need to do. And that is the Gender Crazy of the Week segment. We like to do this every Wednesday. We do the Gender Crazy of the Week. I'll check various conservative Twitter accounts and find interesting videos where people are going nuts about gender-related issues, and you know, just why they are so crazy. Okay, so let's do this one here. Let's start here. Let me bring this up. So to start off with, this is from End Wokeness over on Twitter, over on X. This happened on Jeopardy this week. This happened on Jeopardy this week.
Parts of speech 6.
Them, theirs, themself. Chris.
What are pronouns?
Those are pronouns, neo-pronouns. You have 62.
Oh, neo-pronouns. Yeah, see, you had to clarify. No, these are neo-pronouns. 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 Yeah. So, yeah, pronouns are now a Jeopardy question. I got people sending me messages on X, so don't want to bring that up. Okay. And here we go. While we're on pronouns, look at this person. This is it/pup/she/they/he. So they're running the whole gamut, right? They got pup, which is like furry type, puppy play. Sanglade says, if it's Japan only, I could see it. I'd still like to see them market the adult cream pie stateside. Fun times. And by the way, Shut Up, I Can Cook. I see where you said love the hair mild. I saw that, and I meant to toast you on that. Thank you. Always like to fluff up the hair. I actually had my follow-up sleep study yesterday morning. Well, overnight, Monday night. And man, they put glue in my hair, and it was because they had sensors all over my head. Oh my Lord. It was atrocious. My hair was atrocious. So yeah, I've had a few showers since then and had to wash all that glue out of my hair. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with the way it's looking today. So we have it, pup, she, they, he. And they're replying to someone who says, I am a centrist. There's nothing wrong with being centrist. You've just told us you're an extremist, which is bad. Okay. Let's see what this person, this it, pup, she, they, he. So, again, you have pup, which is furry. You have she and he and they. So every gender all at once. And an it. And they're an it. So they're also an object. Okay, so let's see what they have to say about centrists.
The problem with being a centrist is you have the left saying, I think trans people deserve rights and shouldn't be killed. And then you have the right saying, we want to kill trans people.
Okay. So look, there are a few people on the far right who jokingly say, "Yeah, it's mostly jokingly say yes, let's murder trans people." You do have some bigots who may actually commit violence against trans people and or people who've been catfished into having sex with a trans, and then they feel all weird about it and they may commit violence. But for the most part, I've never heard a right wing platform, a right wing political position that's like, oh yeah, let's just murder these people. No, often it's accompanied by, let's get these people mental health. Let's keep these people away from children as long as they're living in this delusion, right? That's the right wing position. This we want to kill trans people. This is more of your fucking delusion. This is more of your fucking insanity. And this spike you have through your nose. Anyway, let's continue to listen.
We want a trans genocide.
We
and then
want
you're
a
sitting
trans
in the
genocide.
middle there saying, both sides have really good points. I don't know, man. I'm a centrist.
So this is the classic. There's the comic strip that goes around Twitter every other day. It's got the guy, why are you siding with both? And the guy pushes him toward the Nazis. Why are you siding with Nazis? It look, you are an extremist. You are bad. The commenter user with a bunch of numbers is right. If you think people are trying to kill it, pup, she, they, he. Like, what's that on your shirt? Like, clearly you got something written, written, quote, written in blood. You're fucking edgy, right? All this is just edginess. It's just wanting to be edgy. And what's up with your voice and your hair and your nose ring? It's like, it's all just a cry for fucking help.
And that makes you just as bad. The problem with
that makes you just as bad. Being a centrist is bad because you don't strongly enough tell the bigots to go fuck themselves. Fuck off. Fuck off. Who are you to judge? Okay, so that was from In Wokeness. This is from Clown World on X.
Cops say,
and this is from a news report, I guess, from Local 10 ABC News. So let's listen to this little news report.
Cops say this is Derek Robinson in the jeans and blue top.
Derek
we are in the
Robinson.
River Run community in Miramar. Miramar police say Derek has been swiping packages from people's homes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A lovely young lady named Derek. Snatching packages from people's homes. Sangling 86, this World Star.
They say Derek is responsible for at least 3 cases. They originally put out this video hoping to get an identity. In the video, you can see the suspect walk up to the front door and police slow it down, and you can see the suspect take the package. They then release video of another incident. After putting these videos out, police say they received a tip that their suspect is Derek Robinson.
And we have
Here
his
is Derek
boyfriend
from a prior mug.
Prior mugshot. Look at the mugshot. What a lovely lady. What a lovely lady Derek
Cops have put out this wanted poster. They say Derek may be wanted by other jurisdictions as well. And there's more. Police have put out this video of who they say is Derek's driver. And you can get a good look at the car. Police have been looking for these suspects for more than a month. And now, finally, a name to a face.
Okay, so I wonder what the they, she, he, pup, it in the previous video thinks about, transgenders stealing packages from bigots. Okay, one last video in our 4-pack here of Gender Crazy of the Week. We have an all-gender restroom. An all-gender restroom. You guys spoke and I listened.
You guys spoke and I listened. I'm making all the bathrooms at my concerts not only gender neutral, but species neutral.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not an all-gender restroom. It's an all-species restroom. I'm making all the bathroom at my concert. So this person is a music performer, allegedly, or some sort of performer, making all the bathrooms at their concerts not just general neutral, but species neutral. Species neutral. So the story we covered last week, or did we cover it? I don't know if we covered it, but we talked about it. I think I talked about it for just a minute about the people on Twitter arguing over damn, what's that movie? Starship Troopers. So you could be one of the insects from Starship Troopers and use the toilet at this person's concert. Sangolin 86 says disgracing a lesbo wagon sad. Was that a Subaru? I think that may have been a Subaru in that. Anyway. Okay, so let's watch the rest of this video here.
I will be providing litter boxes in the
Litter
bathrooms for all
box
animal
in the
identifying
bathroom.
concert goers on my tour.
Litter boxes in the bathrooms for all animal identifying. Wait, what was that? Let me go back. Animal identifying concert goers.
On my tour. Now that's inclusivity in action.
Inclusivity in
you guys
action.
Spoke and I listened.
Come shit in a box at my concert. Come shit in a box at my concert. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world in which we live in. Wow. So yeah, I think that's all the stories I had for today. Not quite an hour, I guess. Well, it would have been an hour had my my audio issues not messed up the first 13 minutes of the stream. So sorry about that. But thank you for hanging in there. Looks like we got a good 10 to 15 viewers across all the different platforms. So yeah, thank you for watching my show. Cheers for stopping by. And yeah, if you could take just a moment and click the like button or the heart or whatever the upvote like button, whatever on whatever platform you're on, if you could take a second and click that like button, click that thumbs up below. And if you're new here, click the follow button, watch another video if you got time. Down in the description should be links to all the other platforms I'm on. So you could find me on any of those. From time to time, I may have to reschedule or cancel a show. I try to generally let people know, whether it's through the YouTube community tab or X or Facebook, or locals. I try to let people know if I have to reschedule a show. So follow me on one of those platforms. We'll definitely let you know when you can watch me next. I'm still kind of working out these streaming software issues. My deepest apologies. I'm really hoping to promote Rumble Studio. It's not a bad platform, and I like the ability to stream to more than 3 platforms at a time. But I may just have to go back to StreamYard or something else. So stay tuned for any news on that. I'll definitely be back here this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, barring some emergency or some other issue. So come back 6 p.m. Central this Saturday, right here, wherever you're watching me now. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll see you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Good night.